Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at John 8:12. Then spoke Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. And so what does Jesus mean, I am the light? He doesn't mean I'm a light bulb, right? That's obvious. So understanding that there is some loss of content that is common when you're translating one language into another. And in this case, right, the word phos is often translated from ancient Greek into English as light. However, the word phos can also be translated as the light of God. I am the light of God unto the world, right? I am the light of the Spirit unto the world. I am the light of wisdom unto the world. I am the light of knowledge unto the world. And so when you start to try and grasp what Jesus is talking about as light, well, he's talking about the things that will build and establish the kingdom of heaven, a powerful nation, a good, healthy, thriving, abundant, supra-abundant nation upon the earth, right? The kingdom of heaven on earth. And he's pointing to the ways that will do that, right? But if you just translate the word as light, some of that is lost in translation. And this causes many Bible scholars to maybe point away from wisdom, a point away from knowledge, things like that, or maybe lessen the emphasis of it throughout the Bible. But it is most definitely there, right? And so as people of the faith, as Christians, we are seeking these things that will make a life bright, light, and happy, joyous, right? If you've ever heard the saying spirit, mind, body, right? Christians or people of the faith are commanded to seek wisdom and get knowledge. And so understanding that these are some key elements to a happy life is going to be important. Now, you will see people debate that you can't really prove anything in regards to faith. Those people are incorrect, right? I will tell you of a point where faith no longer requires faith. You will know that God exists. The apostles throughout the Bible, they speak of more than just having faith. So understanding this is important because, right, you're also commanded, as people of the faith, you're commanded to seek God. You're commanded to believe not maybe in your own beliefs, but if God exists, well, then you believe and you serve God, right? Disciples of the Christ or followers of the faith, right? We don't serve the scriptures. We don't worship the scriptures. We worship God and we serve God, right? Believing that God exists, not something else. And so understanding that Jesus goes on to say, he says, he that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, right? This also can be translated as the darkness of ignorance, the darkness of wickedness, evil, foolishness, things like that, right? And so beliefs like I don't have to work, right? Some scholars, even though Jesus says, I am not come to end the law or the prophets, I haven't come to end them, but to fulfill them, right? They translate Romans 10:4 as Christ is the end of the law. Okay, so obviously if Jesus Christ is saying, I did not end the law and the prophets, and then someone is translating Romans as Christ is the end of the law, well, as disciples of Christ, right, we follow Christ first and foremost, right? Not in this case, it is a poor translation of the Apostle Paul's words, so it makes it appear as if Paul contradicts Christ, and that is 100% not true. I can tell you the Apostle Paul, he loved Christ a lot, right? He's not going to be going around contradicting Christ and teaching opposites him. That's nonsense, right? So this is important to understand because within the law, right, there is a work ethic. And so if Christians are commanded, right, the fourth commandment is thou shalt work 6 days a week. And so if Jesus is saying, I am the light, right, be like me, follow me, he that followeth me, right, if you truly want to be my disciple, right, if you're following Christ, right, well, then you're commanded to well up light and wisdom, and that is going to require a semblance of a work ethic. Now, it's not perfection, and God's not looking for slaves, right? So you're not a slave to the Bible. So understand this. It's sort of important because when you realize the magnitude that 1.8 billion people globally have read at least some of the Bible, more than 6 billion copies of the Bible have been printed and distributed. I would bet you that this is a gross underestimation of the number. But when you factor in that there are 8.2 billion people and 6 billion distributions of the Bible have gone out, you might grasp that if these versions are teaching people 1.2 billion, 2 billion people, somewhere around there, wrong, or if a nation is choosing to embrace versions of the Bible that are not beneficial to them, it is going to have a massive negative impact on the nation. Maybe the nation turns away, turns to some other religion, etc., etc., etc. Civil war, the destruction of a nation. Jesus Christ actually suggests that right before the fall of a nation, the religion of that nation will be corrupted. So understanding this is important because the magnitude of the reach of the Bible is significant. And so making sure that you have, at least for yourself and your family, and hopefully you can teach some other people, that the Bible was meant to lead to a good, powerful, thriving society with good, moral, spiritual, happy people. The Bible, right, if a good version of the Bible is followed and practiced by a nation, it will produce a supra-abundant nation, a land overflowing with milk and honey, right? Good, happy people, a good, happy life. A life that there is nothing better than, right? God is not offering his children second best, he's offering them the best, right? But you have to seek it sometimes because there's a lot of people who translate the Bible, right? And if someone without wisdom translates it, well, then how could it be a wise translation of the Bible? If someone without God, the love of God, translates the Bible, well, then how could it be a spiritually enriched version of the Bible, etc.?